The opinions expressed on the Simone Edwards Show by our guest are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of KEPXradio.com, its owner, and or the Simone Edwards Show and those affiliated with it. In no event will the Simone Edwards Show, KEPXradio.com, its owners, guests, hosts, or affiliates be liable for the information disseminated on the program, including, without limitation, any loss or damage, indirect or otherwise, arising from information presented on the show. We trust you are of legal age and will consult appropriate professionals prior to employing any opinions expressed on the show. Many of the topics discussed are personal in nature, and some people may disagree with the opinions expressed on the show. We are open to your constructive criticism and or ideas for future radio programs. Please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. All right, we are here in studio. We had some technical delays, so we just want to apologize for those who tune in regularly. We had a little bit of difficulty, but we are here in studio with Kania Batiste, and we are so excited. This is our first show for the month of June, and it is our Youth and Young Adult Spotlight Show. And so we are ready to dive in and get started because this is just exciting. I heard this young woman play, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to get her on the show, and I have to just find out more about her. Because I definitely want to celebrate young people who are doing amazing things in their community and in the world around them. So before we get into the fabulousness that is Miss Kania, we're going to get to know her a little bit so that the KEPX audience can appreciate her as much as we have grown to appreciate her in the brief time that we've met her. So tell our audience, we actually broadcast nationally and internationally. So tell us, where are you from?
I'm born and raised in San Diego, California, so I'm a United States of America native.
Nice. So have you been anywhere outside of San Diego?
Yes, I have. I actually went to school in Tyler, Texas, so I've been to a few cities or whatever in Texas, and I've also been to Arizona and Nevada. I recently went on a cruise, so I got to go to Jamaica, Haiti, and Cozumel.
Oh, excellent. How did you like Jamaica? That's my hometown. So how did you like Jamaica?
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got to taste the jambalaya there. It was delicious.
Very nice.
They didn't see the face you made.
See, we're looking to expand. We're looking to expand KEPX, and so we're gonna actually have a video component coming soon, so you'll be able to see all of our facial reactions when we are here in studio. So, Kania, tell us, what do you do for fun?
Well, I'm actually an athlete as well, so when I get the chance, I'll go out and play softball with my stepdad, who's also a musician too, so we get the best of both worlds with him.
Oh, that's excellent. What position do you play on the team?
I play center field and left field.
Okay. What got you into softball? That's so interesting.
My stepdad.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's actually how I kind of broke the ice meeting him.
Right.
Because I came up to him and asked him, does he want to play catch? And from there, we've been cool ever since.
Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. So what do you do to unwind?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Lots of sleep.
Okay.
My own heart.
Very nice. So we're going to kind of go around the room a little bit. Tony, tell us, what do you do? For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, I want to introduce to some and present to others my fabulous gift from God, Antonia Washington Brown, who is my program manager. So, Tony, tell me, what do you like to do to unwind?
Besides sleep, read, or either just create something.
Nice, nice. I would say for me, either a drive, just kind of like a journey to nowhere and just discover new things, or, a trip to the beach and just kind of listen to the ocean waves. That's how I unwind. So, Kania, what are two of your favorite sounds?
Well, music will be one of my favorite sounds. And then my second favorite would be me hitting a softball.
Okay.
I've made contact and I get to run to first base.
Nice. So that, very cool. And you said the first one was mood music?
Music.
Just music in general, any type of music.
Yeah.
Very nice. We're going to delve into that just a little bit more. Antonia, what about you? What are two of your favorite sounds?
Yay, I'm not blindsided. I've had this question before. At least I got one part answer. So my answer before, because there was only one sound, was my favorite sound. It's like that full-bodied, uninhibited, no holds bar, or whatever you want to say, laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care where you are, when you hear somebody give that full belly laugh,
Mm-hmm.
you can't help but to join in, or either just whatever funk you in, it brings you out of it.
Right.
And then let's see. I don't know. Another sound. The low A on a bari sax. Yeah.
Okay. The low A on the sax.
Yes.
Okay, nice. You guys have some very sophisticated palettes in your sound. I would say for me, it is definitely the sound of rain. One of my favorite sounds is the sound of rain, and the second would have to be the sound of the ocean.
You know what? I think I got to second you on that one. 'Cause
Yeah.
That means some good sleep is coming.
Yes.
Not for me. Because I lived in Texas
Right.
when I went to school out there, and the sound of rain meant a few seconds afterwards is going to be thunder and lightning. So
Yeah, that means you turn everything off. You get
Yeah.
some I'm still and go to sleep.
I'd rather the earthquake before thunder and lightning.
See, I'm not a fan of the earth moving
No,
at all in any
okay.
way, shape, or form.
It only lasts for a few seconds. Rain lasts for a long time.
And
It's a little disconcerting because I remember my first earthquake. I think I was in my barracks and I was like half asleep and I felt the room shaking. I was like, oh, I hate being on this ship. And then I was like, I'm not on the ship.
yeah, I am. Now I'm a thunderstorm girl. I love the sound of thunder, and especially the sound that lightning makes. And you have this pure look of terror on your face right now.
I'm telling you, it's scary. Just be sweet. Boom.
So, last getting to know you question. If you could travel in time back, no going forward, because we don't know what's ahead of us. But if you could travel back to any period of time, what period of time do you think you would choose?
Probably kindergarten.
Kindergarten? Okay. Why?
Because as a kindergartner, you have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
You get to color all day. Maybe learn a few ABCs here and there. A few addition and subtraction. You get a nap time.
Right.
And then that's also when I started learning the piano a little bit and
Wow.
t-ball.
Nice.
So it's like everything I wanted was right there. I didn't have to work, nothing.
Wow. Excellent. I like it. Tony, what about you? If you could travel back to any period of time, what would you go back to?
I've had this question before too, and I'm still drawing a blank. Let's see. I guess because it changes daily. I don't know. Probably roaring 20s.
The
maybe.
20s?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was definitely a good time. I would
Right before the depression, everybody was still on their high and everything.
Right.
Life is good.
I think I would do it, but I would probably do like the 20s or maybe like the 40s and 50s, but in Europe. You know, back when like a lot of the singers and stuff
everybody was
migrated.
migrating.
Yeah, I would. Oh my God, I would love that time, but you know, across the pond. Yeah, I would enjoy that. So, Miss Kania, let's get to know you just a little bit more. You are from a musically inclined family, and I just heard you say that you would go back to kindergarten because that's where you started learning how to play the piano at 5. Oh my goodness! So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I've always had like a musical ear, so if I heard something, I'd go to the piano and like ding, 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 and start deciphering the song. And then that's when my grandfather at the time was like, do that again. So he hooked me up with a piano teacher.
Wow.
And I also went to Nubia Leadership Academy.
Okay.
So they had piano lessons there as well.
Wow, that is excellent. So you can actually, now you're rare because not a lot of people can play by, that's called playing by ear, right? You hear it and then you can actually go and sit down and replicate exactly what you heard. That's phenomenal. I don't think I've met anyone. I've only read about it. So can I touch you? That's incredible. So did you discover your passion for music when you were in kindergarten, or was that just kind of, at what point did you discover that this is my thing?
In kindergarten, because I've been in music all my life,
Yeah.
from kindergarten to all the way up to high school.
Wow.
hmm
I love that. How many instruments do you play?
I play the ukulele. I can play a little bit of piano, a little bit of drums,
Uh-huh.
and all three saxophones. It's soprano, the alto, the tenor. Haven't messed with the bass yet. It's a little big for me.
Okay.
Can play a little flute. I tried the clarinet, but it squeaked too much my first time trying to play it, so I just set that one down. I used to play the trombone
Okay.
in 4th grade. That was actually my first instrument when I was in elementary school.
Right.
I played trombone in 4th and 5th grade, and I didn't like playing the bass line all the time. But as I got to like college, the trombones always had the melody and stuff. But from wind ensemble and like concert bands and stuff like that, the woodwinds have the melody. So it's like I want to play that one.
Okay. So you're more drawn to the melody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I play what I hear. I don't really hear like the counter melodies and stuff.
That's impressive. So now I'm KEPX. I'm just going to include y'all in my ignorance. I'm going to say us. So for those of us who did not know that there were 3 types of saxophone, tell us, there are 4 types of saxophones.
5.
There's 5. The number keeps growing, KEPX. We don't know what's happening. We may get up to 20. So there are 5 different types of saxophones.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And out of the 5, you play 3 fluently.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fingerings are pretty much all the same. So if you play one, you play them long. But the embouchure is a little different.
The
So
what?
The embouchure.
What is the
Shape of
embouchure?
the mouth.
The shape of your mouth and how you like distribute air into your horn. It's a
Okay.
little different.
So what keeps you away from the baritone
Baritone sax.
baritone
The
sax?
embouchure is a lot bigger and it takes a lot more wind. And as you can see, I'm a little small. So
Okay.
to try to muster up all that wind is going to be a lot.
Okay, so then to play the saxophone actually requires a lot of discipline when it comes to your diaphragm and your breathing.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. I learned something new today. I feel like the more you know star should just fly over my head right now. The more you know, ding. That's excellent. So when did you discover the saxophone? Because you've
6th
been
grade.
6th grade.
I saw it in the 4th grade,
Uh-huh.
but I didn't get to play it until 6th grade.
Wow.
Yeah. I saved up all my money from 4th grade and 5th grade until I can buy my own, and I was like, now you can't tell me I can't play it.
So who was telling you that you couldn't play the saxophone?
My 4th grade teacher, because they didn't have enough to go around,
Uh-huh.
and because I was good at playing trombone, I
Uh-huh.
was like the first chair.
Oh.
So they're like, no, you can't play saxophone. It's like, why? So as soon as I got enough money to buy my own, in 6th grade, I was like, oh yeah, I play saxophone. Mm-hmm.
So tell us about the chairs in an orchestra. So first, there's
First chair is the best, and second chair is the second best, and then so on and so forth. And
Okay.
they each played like different portions of the music. They have like the first chair, the first player, I guess,
Mhm.
and that'll play like the top of the melody, and then the second will play like the middle, and then the third will play like the bottom
Okay.
in a chord.
So now I'm a lover of classical music. I mean, seriously, happy place. So what is your favorite type of music to listen to? Are you into jazz? Are you into classical? Especially based on chairs.
Well, my favorite, like my first chair, will be gospel music,
Okay.
and then I guess second chair will be R&B and neo soul,
Okay.
and then third chair will be whatever comes on the radio. I don't really consider it music, but it makes you dance.
Okay. So gospel wise, who are some of your influences? Who are some of the people that influence you as an artist today?
Gerald Albright,
Okay.
most definitely. I just ran across this other guy named Jonathan Manigan, or
Okay.
something of that nature, but he also plays alto saxophone. And then I also listen to singers as well,
Okay.
and sometimes I'll try to mimic what the singer is singing
Okay.
on my saxophone.
So who are some of your favorite singers?
Donald Lawrence is one of them.
He's a good one. He's a
Yolanda
good one.
Adams, Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp,
Yeah.
Donnie McClurkin.
Okay.
Sometimes. He likes to do a lot of screaming. It's hard to mimic. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head, but yeah.
So now you're a singer as well.
I sing a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm a singer.
Okay. Do you write?
I haven't crossed that line yet.
Okay. What about musically? Do you write music?
Compose or arrange? No?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's
I love
coming.
that.
I feel it. It's coming.
I like that you said not yet. I love that attitude. That is awesome. So you graduated from the School of Performing Arts here in San Diego. What did your time at SCPA teach you about discipline?
You don't always get what you want.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, within the performance world, people who are like in higher positions tend to go towards favoritism instead of talent. And then I also learned that if you play with people who are superior to you, that it improves your talent. And if you play with people who are equally as good or people below you, then it's kind of like a waste and they piggyback off of you.
Yes. And so I'm going to park the car there for just a moment because I know I am. No, I really am, because I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, and that's the danger of mediocrity. Because mediocrity, if you surround yourself with people who are always impressed by your talent, you really will never grow. You have to surround yourself with people who are kind of like, yeah, that's good, but you could do better. Because those are the people that make you grow. Those are the people that force you to go to that next level. And so a lot of times what can happen if we're not careful is, instead of saying, yes, I want to get better, it can take it as, oh no, they're being hard on me and they're picking on me and they're being mean, when in reality, they're actually making you better, because if everyone around you is the same, where's the room for growth? I absolutely love that you said that. So before we go to break, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you do to challenge yourself?
I'll listen to some saxophonist, like I said, like Charlie Parker, and hear how he sounds, and I'm like, I'm not there yet, so I probably should keep practicing.
Okay, so how often do you practice?
Not often, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And it's just out of pure laziness. Sometimes I just don't want to get up from sleeping because that's my favorite thing to do.
Oh.
But when I have a performance or something of that nature,
right,
I usually take about 2 or 3 hours out of the days before the performance to prepare myself.
Oh, nice. I love it. And I liked your honesty. Thank you very much. All right, KEPX, we will be back momentarily. We are going to go to one of our promos here in the station. Thank you so much for listening. We are so glad to have you on board, and we'll be back momentarily.
Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's show? Would you like to share your testimony or any constructive critiques? Would you like to know how to become a guest on The Simone Edwards Show? Well, please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. We are also available on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Be sure to follow us to receive updates regarding the show and our other ministries.
Okay, and we are back here in studio. One of the things that we want to do is we want to actually listen to you play. So we're going to transition a little bit from music, and you just recently graduated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you graduated from Tyler. You went to Texas College.
Yes,
in Tyler, Texas.
In Tyler, Texas.
What made you pick Texas College?
It's a funny story, actually. My cousin is a band director out in Texas, and he has band director friends, and one of his friends called him and told him that he needed more woodwinds in his band.
Okay.
And it's like, hey, I'm a woodwind. I can go to your school. And I went there on a scholarship.
Oh, that's excellent. So now while you're there, this is the part, because when I was reading your bio, I was like, that's really interesting. What did you study?
Criminal justice.
What led you to criminal justice?
I have a passion for corrections. I don't
Really?
like seeing people do the wrong thing.
Oh.
So I'm a firm believer in like corrective behavior. If I can teach you why what you're doing is wrong, then there's a possibility that you won't do it again in the future.
I love that. So now you actually graduated with your Associates of Arts degree and your Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice.
Yes.
And just so you know that not only is she beautiful, she's also intelligent because she has a cumulative GPA of 3.6 overall and then a 3.8 GPA within her field of study. So congratulations. That is excellent. That is
Thank you.
absolutely excellent. I love that. Now, one of the things that you said you want to become a correctionals officer and your ultimate goal is to work for the FBI.
Hmm.
Why the FBI?
I think that's like the highest thing that you can achieve within the correction field.
Really? What is there like a particular division that you want to go into? Is there a particular
It's really wherever God leads me. And
Okay.
He might not even lead me to become an FBI agent.
Okay.
I'm finding myself being surrounded more and more by children, so I might even be called to be a teacher. So I
Wow.
might say that now and then 2 weeks later be wanting to do something else.
Okay. So that's good to know that you're open and that you're not so locked in to this is absolutely what I want to do, that you've some built-in flexibility in your relationship with the Lord. That's excellent. I love that. Um, so let's talk about, because you talked about corrective behavior. So if you would give us your opinion on, especially since you're looking into the field of criminal justice, right now there's been a lot of media coverage on, what we're calling excessive police force. So what is your take on that? What is your opinion on that as it relates to not just the Black community, but communities in general, force in general, how the police interact with, potential or possible perpetrators of the law? What's your take on that?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that we as the people don't
Mhm.
see that police have to handle.
Excellent.
And a lot of people use expletives when referring to police.
Right.
So there's that disconnection of I'm here to protect you instead of if you do something to me, I'm going to hit you with my baton.
Right.
So I think not all police are bad because my uncle's a police officer. And I
Right.
don't think if someone were to like call him out of his name, he would just go to using brutal force.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been accumulated over the years of people not respecting police and who they are as people.
Right.
And they just retaliate in the way that they know how. And they can get away with it because of the badge. Not saying
Okay.
that it's right, but it's just like a
Right.
bully. You're only going to take something for so long
Right.
before
I-
the kid just
Yeah.
goes at him.
I do like the fact that you started off the conversation saying that there's a side to it that we don't see, because I think a lot of times it's easy to get kind of caught up in the hype of the media coverage and to see. Now, granted, I'm not advocating. I'm not saying that there isn't excessive force. I'm not even saying that there isn't police brutality. What I will state is that there's a side to it that we don't see prior to
Yeah.
something happening.
And that's the reason.
Yeah.
Somewhat why they're being so forceful. Because
Right.
they have to, otherwise they're going to lose more police officers than they have.
Okay. So when it comes to, I want to ask you a question. So thinking of the women in your peer group and thinking of the women, your age and kind of below, as you look at the world from, or society around you, your community, your sphere of influence, what would you say are some of your concerns right now, what are some of the concerns that you have for young women at this particular time?
It would be respect for themselves and respect for their surroundings.
Okay.
And knowing who they are as a person and where they want to be in like the next 5 years or even in the next 3 months.
Okay, so let's delve into that. In your opinion, what is respect? What is self-respect? What does that look like for a young woman?
Pretty much knowing who you are and where you came from, knowing that the appropriation of like attire
Mhm.
or the appropriation of language, depending on your setting. Like
Right.
you can't go into church with like a tube top and a mini skirt on. That's inappropriate. Just like you can't be on church grounds using expletives or other foul language.
Right.
You just have to know where you are and who you're speaking to.
Okay, excellent. I like that. I love that answer, actually. What advice would you give to your counterparts? What advice would you give to the young woman who has been in, because honestly, you carry yourself well, you're very poised, right? So now you have a young woman who is looking to you and saying, Kania, I want some advice. I kind of want to be where you are. You know, you play the saxophone, you have musical engagements around San Diego, you've traveled, you've been to different places, you've had different experiences. What advice would you give to those young women about self respect, about knowing who they are? What advice would you give to them about developing their gifts and their talents and their abilities?
First, you have to be brave. You have to be like courageous in the things that you want to do, because it took me playing a piano to know that I wanted to play saxophone. I had to step out of my comfort zone
Right.
and find something that I was good at and something that I wanted to do. Because I tried to draw. I didn't get past stick figures. But at least I tried, you know.
Right.
I tried to dance. I didn't like that too much because I didn't like wearing leotards and tights. It just wasn't comfortable for me.
Okay.
You know, you just have to put yourself out there. And then you also have to know that you can't do everything that someone else does.
Right.
And you have to know that you're made in your own, you're made in the image of God, but you're also your own person. There's no
Right.
one else like you in the world, so you shouldn't try to portray someone else.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love that one of the advice that you have is try different things and kind of see where you land, because sometimes we can make finding your purpose almost feel like a needle in a haystack, where, you know, it's this Tinkerbell mentality where you're just going to get dinged one day and you'll figure out like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, it's going to take some trial and error. It's going to take doing different things and realizing, that's not really for me. I don't really feel that. Like you said, the whole leotard thing, yeah, that's kind of not my thing. I like artists, can't really get past stick figures. So I really do. I like very much that you had that advice. We're going to be coming back in studio with Kania Batiste in just a moment. In the meantime, we want you to listen to Leave It in the Hands of the Lord.
Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's show? Would you like to share your testimony or any constructive critiques? Would you like to know how to become a guest on the Simone Edwards Show? Well, please feel free to email us at thesimoneedwardsshow@gmail.com. We are also available on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. Be sure to follow us to receive updates regarding the show and our other ministries.
All right, that was Leave You in the Hands of the Lord by Roscoe Robinson. And whatever issues you may be facing, whatever problems you may be going through, whether it's a situation or a person, if you just leave it in the hands of the Lord, know that God is able, and He will take care of it. We are back here in studio on the Simone Edwards Show. This is our youth and young adult spotlight, and we are in studio with Kania Batiste, saxophonist extraordinaire. And so I actually discovered you at a women's event. When did you start touring? When did those doors start opening? And how long have you been touring, so to speak? Like,
It started when I was about 12 years old, and I first learned how to play Praise Is What I Do.
right.
My stepdad wrote it out for me. He was like, play this. So since then, I've been playing at churches.
Okay. So you, are you on a schedule, or is it just kind of on an as?
It's really on an as-asked basis.
Okay.
If I'm asked to come and minister, then I'll willingly do so.
Excellent. I absolutely love your attitude. I really do. So when you go, what's your preparation like before you go and prepare to minister? Do you pray about the song that you're going to do? Do you kind of know it ahead of time? Do you play according to as they request? What's the preparation like?
It's really dependent on the venue.
Okay.
As far as the request is concerned and what I'm going to play. But before I actually play, I pray and ask to have myself removed and allow God to come in so that He can speak through my horn and to the people, and that they're moved by something that I play.
Excellent. So what do you hope for those listening to you? What is it that you hope that they would gain from hearing the melody or God speaking through your horn, as you so eloquently said?
Well, if it's God's will, they're breakthrough. But if not, have joy and peace
Okay.
in knowing who God is and how He works, and that music is universal. And one of the reasons why it's universal is because it's melodies. It's not just words. It doesn't confine itself to like a language barrier.
I love that. I
So
absolutely
even if you
love
like
that.
don't speak English and you hear me play, you can be like, oh yes.
I love that. So when we come back, we are actually we're not necessarily going to go away, KEPX. We're right here. But we're going to hear you play a song right now, and you are going to play Glorious.
Yes.
Okay. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the power of music. We're going to delve into that just a little bit more. So at this time, I want to introduce to some and present to others Miss Kania Batiste on sax with Glorious. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So, talk to us now about the power of music. Because as you were playing that, I was like shaking my little marimbas and I was dancing along with the song. And I could hear, I can't think of the artist right now, Martha Manuzzi. I could hear her singing and I could hear the words. So, talk to us about the power of music.
Music, just like with any form of expression, is felt. And I feel like the vibrations of music that you get, it just makes you feel good. It makes you want to continue whatever that ecstasy is that you get from it.
Right.
Instead of, going to some other sort of joy or whatever, as far as like drugs and something like that.
Okay. So, talk to us about the power of music to heal, because you just talked about, being in that place of ecstasy and wanting to stay there. How can music heal those who are possibly downtrodden or broken or, confused? How can music serve to heal them in the position that they're in?
Well, I'll speak specifically about a young lady who went to my church who was suffering from Crohn's disease.
Right.
And she had this particular song that she listened to every time she was feeling down or every time she felt like she couldn't make it. And the title of the song was I think was Pulling Me Through.
Okay.
So every time she heard the words pulling me through, she just thought back to God and how he's pulling her through the situation, and that she can move forward and that she will get through whatever circumstance that she's in.
Awesome. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I want to talk to you now that we've taken music and we've redirected it back to the source of music and the creator of music. Why is worship so important?
Because worship is like money to God. And the more you worship, the more like you give him like your time and your effort, and it's something that can be done with more than just one person.
Okay.
And it's something that's done through a relationship. Not everybody can worship, but anybody can praise.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I like the analogy of worship being like money to God, because so often we hear, you can't give God anything. But really, if you want to, quote unquote, quote, end quote, pay God back for his goodness in your life, one thing would be to develop a relationship with him. And then the second thing would be to engage in worship. Absolutely love that, Kania. That's beautiful. And I like the example of the young woman with Crohn's disease that used music. She selected that particular song, pulling her through. And then in the midst of her hardship and in the midst of the hard time, that music would pull her back and it would place her in the presence of God. I think that's absolutely incredible. So you're going to be coming to us right now with a second piece, and you're going to be doing Praise is What I Do. What does this song mean? Before you play it, share with us, what does this song mean to you? Praise is what I do.
Exactly what the title says. Praise is what I do. And, you know, no matter what, you always have to give God praise, and you always have to find yourself in that place of worship with him, because at the end of the day, whether you want to or not, you're going to go back to him if you belong to him.
Right.
So
I like that.
you might as well be obedient.
How has your relationship, have you always had a relationship with the Lord?
Yes.
Okay. How has that relationship aided you through difficult times? How has that helped you? The good, and sometimes let me give that a dual question, because so often we only focus on God in the hard times. But how has your relationship helped you in the hard times, and how has your relationship with God helped you in the good times?
Well, in the hard times, it's just like everyone says, when people hit rock bottom, except for the difference is my rock bottom is my rock. So I know that I'll have him to stand on, and I know I'll have him to lean on whenever I have a hard time. And I know I don't have to go to any one person or anything like that. It's just go to him in prayer. I don't have to go to a best friend or a mom or a dad or nothing like that. Just go to him.
I love it.
And then as far as in the good times, it's saying thanks, being grateful for everything that he's done for me, whether I understand what it is or not.
Absolutely love it. So now let's hear, with that in mind, let's hear a little bit of Praise is What I Do. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love that. So now, you said it's one of your favorite songs.
It was the first song I learned how to play.
Really?
As far as like gospel music,
When and how and what was that process like?
well, I can read music as well, so
Okay.
it wasn't too hard. And being able to read music and hear music and mimic what you hear, it was kind of easy for me. But as far as learning phrasing and learning when to breathe and when not to breathe, that's where going to a performing arts school played a major part.
Okay. So this is all news to me, because obviously I don't play instruments. I can appreciate an instrument being played. So especially one that requires wind. So you have to learn when to breathe and when not to breathe. For those of us that know nothing about what that's like, explain to us what that process is.
Well, it's just like singing. If you were to sing Amazing Grace, it's like Amazing Grace. That doesn't sound good. So you have to hold that breath and sustain that sustain the note.
Okay.
And it's the same thing with music. You don't just want to cut off right in the middle of a phrase.
So do you practice breathing exercises?
Long tones.
Okay. And what's a long tone?
It's playing one note for a very long time. It's like 8 beats.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's
possibly even longer if I can do it.
so then it's and it's 1, 2, 3, and holding that note all the way through.
And trying to hold it in tune
Okay.
so that it doesn't fall flat or go sharp.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow, I have a newfound respect for musicians, especially those that are wind-based musicians. You know, I personally like the piano, and so I'm on a quest to teach myself how to play the piano, not necessarily because I want to play in public. I mean, you know, sure, one day if God opens that door, yay. But, you know, just to learn how to play it because I think it's such a beautiful instrument. I really do. Um, but there's just something really profound that I never recognized before, the discipline that it takes to play the sax or the flute or the clarinet or any other wind-based instrument where you actually provide life for the instrument. That's very impressive. The discipline is very impressive. I like that. You stated that your favorite scripture is Philippians 4:13, which states, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Why is that your favorite scripture? I mean, it seems kind of obvious, but why is it your favorite scripture?
In case I ever doubt myself or my abilities, I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
I
If
love
I'm ever,
that.
unsure, or if I'm ever scared about anything, I remember that I have the spirit of power and not the spirit of fear, and that, through Christ I can do anything.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Would you mind sharing with us your age?
I'm 23.
23 years old. You deserve a round of applause. You really do. Because I think that you're an inspiration to your generation. And I think that you should continue to do the things that you're doing, continue to remain pliable in the hands of God, continue to let Him grow and develop and mature you the way He desires to grow, develop, and mature you. I really appreciate your poise and your grace and your willingness to share your gift with others. We are at about the 8-minute mark before we come to the end of the show. And I was just wondering if, because you said you also, in your bio, you said that you sing on the Brace team.
Yeah. I'd rather have them here with me to sing.
Okay, so not necessarily the solo singer, not yet.
No, I'm a choir singer.
Choir singer.
Yeah, the background singer.
But you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So maybe
Yes,
one
I
day.
can, but one day.
One day.
Not today, but one day.
So take us out with, pick any song that you would like. If you want to continue Praise Is What I Do, you can play the whole rendition of Praise Is What I Do, or you can select any song that you would like to, but we would love to hear you play us out. And then once you're done with the song, we're going to find out about, for those who are listening, if they're interested in booking you, how they can get in contact with you.
Okay.
Absolutely beautiful. That was Kania Batiste with "I Love You, Jesus." I think the song is called "More Than Anything." Do you know who it's by?
Donald Lawrence.
Donald Lawrence. I could not think of the person who sings it, but it's a beautiful song. Definitely look it up. That was so excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. You know that somebody's playing really good when the station owner and our sound guy and everybody just kind of comes out and they just stop what they're doing because they want to watch you play. That was absolutely beautiful. So if we want to book you, what do we do? How do we get in contact with you?
For my email address,
Yes.
KaniaBatiste@AOL.com.
AOL.
Everybody says that. I'm not hip with the times yet. I did Gmail or something. You know. I had a Yahoo before, so I stepped it up from there.
So if you are interested in booking Kania, definitely reach out to her at Kania Batiste at AOL.com, or you can reach her here at the Simone Edwards Show. The address is the Simone, SIMONE, Edwards Show at gmail.com, and we will gladly pass that information on. We are 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. Kania, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here in studio with us. We've enjoyed getting to know you, and again, you are so poised and so well spoken for your age and so very grounded in the faith that you have in God. Continue to let him take you higher and higher and lead you into the greener pastures that he has for you. We will be back in studio next week with the love doctors of Perfecting Love Marriage Ministries. If you are here in the San Diego area and you're looking for a church home, we want to invite you to come on out to Perfecting Grace. We are located in National City, and you can find us on the web at www.perfectinggrace.net. So until we meet again, I want to take us out with Going Up Yonder. If between now and the next time we meet, the great trumpet sounds, we will be going up yonder.